That's right. If there's an illegal arms deal, then you charge both entities, right? There's the dealer, and then there's the people buying, and the dealer wouldn't have any. The dealer needs a customer. The customer is also committing a crime. It's all illegal, and so you sanction both of them, or you blow both of them. You know, like you go after both of them militarily, depending on what the trade is. Even if it's just a drug deal, the using of the drugs is also illegal. The drug dealer has no business unless there's a user, right? And maybe he creates the user through those practices. Either way, the user is a part of that transaction and deserves to also be charged in order to shut the entire thing down, right?
Yeah, exactly right. And there's actually another Clinton connection here. I mean, when Bill Clinton was president, his Department of Justice, it was Eric Holder, the Deputy Attorney General at the time, he basically set it up so that all of the big fish will never fry, whether it's this or other huge scandals. If you wonder why the big fish never seem to get caught, they never seem to fry, it's because Eric Holder, when he was in the President Clinton administration, he drafted this memo that reigns supreme at DOJ to this day. It's called the Collateral Consequences Memo. And this memo, I mean, it cannot be overstated how bad this thing is. What it basically said, and it's the policy at the Justice Department, is if the collateral consequences, if the consequences of prosecuting someone have big ripple effects and it can take down the system. I mean, you were talking about it earlier. The whole system, this could bring down the whole system. And so the collateral consequences memo that Eric Holder drafted says that if the consequences could bring down the system, it's best not to prosecute. And so you can bet that memo is actually what prevents the DOJ in a lot of ways, saying, well, it's actually best that we sweep this under the rug. We'll give immunity agreements. You see this like when Hillary Clinton's emails come out and all of her staff have to testify against her. They give them immunity agreements and everybody gets hit with an immunity agreement. And so the DOJ and the FBI, they find out what's going on. They gain the control and the leverage over people, but then they never prosecute. And so that memo needs to be thrown out so that we can really bring down the system in a lot of ways. The corrupt,
That's amazing.
rotten, decaying system.
I've heard of this. It's up on screen right now. I've heard of this. I need to go in harder on this memo. You're exactly right. Like what? So this was written during the Clinton era by Eric Holder. Remarkable. And then this, of course, applies to the Bidens. This, of course, applies to so the elites can do whatever they want. This literally is the protection of the elites, and they go after Donald Trump for literally not recycling his soda pop can, his can of Diet Coke, because he's not one of them. He didn't engage in these immoral practices. He wasn't part of the club. He's the only guy who put Jeffrey Epstein in prison, right? He helped the lawyer to put him in jail. And so that's why they go, there's no collateral consequences for going after Trump. That's what you can deduce from this.
Yeah, exactly right. It's basically during the Clinton administration, they wrote a perpetual, endless get out of jail free card for themselves with no expiration date. And yeah, I mean, Donald Trump is a threat to the system. So he must be prosecuted. He must be taken out. Wow. He's like a virus, and the entire system is an immunity system. It's like an immune system attacking the virus. Not to call Donald Trump a virus, but it works like that. They are all, from the media to Hollywood to corporate America to both parties, they are attacking him with relentless force because he's a threat to their system.
Incredible.